You've just interviewed another strong head of ops. Great CV, good energy. 3 months in, every hard decision still lands on your desk. There's one hire that changes that, and it isn't them. The one hire is the difference between you working 7 days a week and the business actually running without you in every room. If this is you, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means you've hit the stage where functional heads stop working. You keep hiring subordinates when your business now needs a peer. Here's what it looks like. You hire a head of ops, a head of sales, another senior person, and somehow your week gets longer. You didn't build this for that. Because they bring the hard decisions to you, they still need you to referee the conflict between functions. They still need you to approve the plan. So you end up with a leadership team on paper and a business that still runs through you in practice. That's the wrong hire. The move that breaks through this is almost always the same. What I see at this stage is a transition. You need people who run functions and you need someone who runs the week. Right now, you've got people wearing multiple hats and reporting up to you. So you make one hire, a real second in command, the person who runs the week, not another subordinate, not another functional head, a peer level operator who runs the day-to-day so you can do CEO work. So in this video, I'm going to show you the one hire I mean, the 3 mistakes founders make before they get it right, and the 5 questions that tell you whether the person in front of you is actually the one. This is the Elevate leader of the 2-day week CEO Blueprint. If you haven't watched that video yet, watch it after this. It shows you how the other 2 levers fit around this hire. This hire looks different in every business. The job title changes, the relationship doesn't. At IT Lab, mine was Rosa Howard. Her title was HR Director. She had no HR background. She just ended up in that role and was bloody good at it. I didn't hire Rosa either. She was already there when I arrived, but I trusted her implicitly from week 1, and here's why. Rosa was a grown-up. That's the word for this hire. Forget the job title. What you're actually hiring is another grown-up, somebody you can lean on, somebody you can confide in, because being a founder CEO is fucking lonely, and if there's nobody else in the building who can carry the weight of a hard call with you, you carry it all, every weekend and every night. Rosa would say no when she disagreed with me. Quietly, no drama. She just held the line on standards and didn't flinch. That's why she ran the business with me, not under me. You can buy compliance, you can't buy judgment. At Pier 1, the role was different. My VP of operations was the second in command. He told me which of my ideas were worth pursuing, made sure the ones that mattered actually shipped, and quietly killed the rest. And I've got a client right now whose biggest gap is in operations, but his second in command is the general counsel. In the past, she's run her own business. She now runs operations. Different role, same hire. If you think this role has a fixed job description, you're already thinking about it wrong. The real question is this: what's the biggest gap and who can cover it better than you? This hire is different from every other senior hire because they can disagree with you in front of the team. They can make operating calls without you. And yes, eventually they can run the day-to-day without you. And that's not a threat. That's the whole point. It's what makes it possible for you to step off the field without the business dragging you back on every time something breaks. But before you make this hire, you need to understand what carrying both jobs is costing you. A lot of founders don't see it until it hurts. Look, your valuation is EBITDA times a multiple. The multiple isn't a fixed number. It moves on a small set of drivers. Organic revenue growth, retention, scale, EBITDA margin, and one more, whether the management team can run the business without you. Buyers pay more when the company runs without the founder. They pay less when you're the bottleneck. That last driver is worth more than the rest combined when you exit. If you're the bottleneck, you're not just tired. You're capping the multiple every quarter you stay there. That's 7 figures of enterprise value walking out the door every quarter while you're refereeing meetings between your head of ops and your head of sales. That's the cost to the business. The cost to you is your weekends, your sleep, the fact that you haven't been a present parent in 2 years. And the cost to the team is what nobody talks about. Your A players are reporting up to a founder who's too busy to coach them. So maybe they leave quietly, they go to work for a better run version of you. So when founders try to make this hire, most get it wrong the first time. 3 classic mistakes. Mistake 1, hiring a functional head and calling it your number 2. A head of ops isn't this hire. A head of sales isn't this hire. Your FD usually isn't this higher. Those are important roles. They run functions. The problem is functional heads optimize locally. I've watched my son play football at 7. He'd come off the field, he'd say, "Dad, I scored 2 goals, look at me, I'm amazing." And I'd say, "Mate, the team lost 5-2. And that's exactly what plays out in management teams of functional heads. Sales hits its number, ops hits its number, the business misses its number, and nobody can tell you why. This hire runs alongside you across the whole business. They join the dots, they stop the decisions bouncing back to you, they raise the standard of the whole leadership team. Mistake number 2 is hiring big company instead of one step ahead. This is where founders can waste a whole year. They hire a shiny CV from a huge organization who's never had to operate at your speed. Or they promote the loyal person who's been with them since day one, who's never seen the next stage from the inside. What you actually want is bigger, not big. If you're at 80 heading to 150, don't hire from a 5,000 person multinational. Hire the person who's just led a 100 to 200 transition in a peer business. They know what systems will break next, and the multinational hire hasn't a clue. That's the corner you're about to turn. Mistake number 3, hiring somebody that you can manage. This is the real killer. In interviews, founders accidentally pick the person who agrees with them. The one who nods, the one who makes them feel smart. That person won't fix your business. They'll scale your blind spots. The right person disagrees with you early, directly and thoughtfully, because they're already operating as a peer. Rosa would say no to me on a Tuesday morning about a hire I'd been excited about for a week, and she'd be right, and that's the bar. So how do you spot the right one quickly? I've got 5 questions you should ask. If you're getting weak answers on 2 or more, just keep looking. 1, have they operated at the stage that you're heading into? Not where you are now, where you're going. A strong answer sounds like, "I joined a business at 80 people, we got to 220. Here's what broke at 120 and what we put in to fix it." Specific, sequenced, real. A weak answer sounds like, "I was in a senior role at a big company that employed 5,000 people. Irrelevant. Big company people manage process. You need someone who can build it." Number 2, can they disagree with you without flinching? Test this in your first conversation. Tell them something that they should push back on. A bad assumption you're making, a weak hire you're considering. See what they do. A strong candidate says, "I don't agree with that, and here's why." Polite, pointed, done. A weak candidate agrees with you, then over-explains, and then steers the conversation somewhere safe. If they can't push back when they're trying to win the job, they won't push back when it actually matters. Number 3, do they think in numbers? Ask them, what's the most important number in our business this quarter? A strong candidate names a number in under 10 seconds. They might be wrong. That doesn't matter. The point is they think that way without prompting. A weak candidate said, "It depends," or asks you what you think. Keep looking. The bar for this is high. You want somebody where the numbers live in their head. 4, are they comfortable owning outcomes without you? Not tasks, outcomes. Ask them about a decision they made solo where the outcome ended up being bad. If they can talk about it without blaming someone else, you've got an owner. If they keep asking, "What would you have done?" you've got a deputy. Here's a test I've used in every business I've run. Every month I ask myself 2 questions about every senior hire. Would I enthusiastically rehire them today? And if they resigned, would I fight to keep them? Yes, and yes, you keep them. Anything else, you have a problem. This question is that test applied in the interview. 5, would your existing leaders feel slightly stretched by them? Not threatened in a toxic way, stretched because the bar just moved. Watch your team in their second interview. If your sharpest leader leans in and starts taking notes, you've got the right person. If your most senior person looks comfortable, you're thinking about hiring sideways. All 5 right? That's your second in command. And one more thing, because it's common to nail the hire and then break it in the first quarter. 3 rules for the first 90 days. Number 1, don't undermine them in front of the team in week 1. Correct them in public, and you've just told everyone the old reporting lines still apply. They're done before they start. 2, give them one big call to make solo in month 1. A hire, a pricing change, a vendor switch, something that genuinely matters. Watch them make it and don't interfere. 3, the 2-chair rule. In any meeting where they're present, you do not answer questions directed at them. You bite your tongue. The team learns within a fortnight that this person is the operator now, and decisions get made there, not in your inbox. And block out 2 hours a week, 1-to-1 for the first 6 months. Massively important. Senior doesn't mean psychic. Even the right hire needs to learn your customers, your standards, your vision. That's your job, not theirs. Here's the question to take away. Do you have this person? Not a functional head, a peer-level operator who covers your biggest gap, a grown-up who stops the business running through you, and who you can confide in when the call is hard. If you don't, you'll keep carrying the operator job and the CEO job at the same time. And every quarter you stay there, you're capping your growth rate, your enterprise value, and your weekends. Right, if you're hiring this person now and you want to stress test the candidate, the A-player hiring framework is linked below. If you want to see how this hire plugs into the other two levers, so the existing business runs in 2 days a week, watch the video on the screen now.